May Elohim bless you guys. I want to share with you guys a few dreams that the Father has shown me. And this is a serious warning message once again. A repeated warning message in regards to famine, in regards to preparation. Many things are unfolding rapidly as we see in front of our eyes, as we see how the world is truly upside down. And so we must be wise. We must make sure that our house is in order. We must prepare spiritually first, making sure that every day we are walking with the Father, with Yahuwah. Every day walking with Him, seeking Him the best that we can, praying, putting Him first, keeping His commandments, allowing Him to guide your path, and you allowing yourself to be guided. Removing those things that the Father doesn't want you to have in your life. Cleaning and cleansing and preparing, like if the day of today was your last time left to prepare. For we do not know when He will return. We do not know the time or the hour. But one thing we do know, that in any split second, it could all change. His return, it is so soon. Our Messiah, Yahusha HaMashiach, is returning and will soon gather His bride to Himself. The church must prepare, and be ready. Be ready to receive Yahusha HaMashiach. Cleanse yourself and remove all worldly things and prepare yourself for His return. For any second, it could happen. Anything can happen. We must be ready. We must prepare. And we must be wise. As we prepare spiritually and we are walking with the Father daily, we must make sure that we are preparing our homes just like the time of Joseph when he prepared the grains. We must prepare for difficult times. We must have our house prepared and be wise. It's better to have storage, store of food, candles, have things on hand. It's better to have it there and not ever use it than to not have it and needing it. We must be ready. We must be wise. We are the last generation. As many more things continue to unfold, we as believers, knowing these truths, knowing the things that are upon this world, we must be wise and we must prepare spiritually and physically. We must prepare our homes. The dreams that I will be sharing with you, this is a continuous topic that the Father has shown me in regards to famine upon the land. In regards, again, to prepare to be ready at all times. The dream that I'm going to share with you is regarding a black horseman. In this dream, I appeared on my bed, covered up with my sheets, with my blankets. The front wall in front of me seemed like it was completely just never there. It was taken off. Think of it like now it became part of the long hallway. So I only had 3 walls where I was, and my bed was in the center of it all. As I kind of tilt my head up, where I pull my sheets off my face, and I look straight ahead, I hear the feet of horses, like four legs. I could hear on the floor, on the wood floor. And as I look ahead to see what is making that sound, I see what's approaching me is this black horseman, this man on a horse. As I look at it, and I knew that it was not human, I stared and I tried to cover my nose with the sheets and just only peek through my eyes. I remember my heart pulsing fast. As you see this image, see this horseman, this man on a horse, what looks to be a man, but yet again it's, even though it has the features of a man, it seems like this creature literally looks like someone. It looks like a dead corpse. A dead corpse that's been dead for months. You can include that with a corpse that has been kind of dried out, or you can include that as someone that has not eaten for months. Because what you're seeing, you can actually see the bone and the skin being so slim, like there's no fat upon this creature's body. It's like a skin against bone. The eye socket was like there was no eyeballs. It was just like the socket was indented. But I could see somehow this creature was looking. How it could look and see, I do not know, because it had some eyes, but it was not a human eye or anything like that. I could see that it had a sense of like, it could sense fear, because the moment that it came towards me and it just kind of stood in front of my bed, staring ahead, looking down and looking for something, like it could smell something, it could sense something, but yet it couldn't find what it was looking for. I don't know what it was looking for, but it was there. I noticed that it left, and when it left, I put my sheets down and I was trying to figure out what just happened. Suddenly I hear the sound that the horse makes when it's moving, and this thing comes right back, and I cover myself again. And now I look at it, more curiosity, but this time I'm not in this feeling of the moment of when you get that instant shock of fear, where this thing just showed up and you're like, what is going on? You're on your bed, you're trying to figure it out when you're seeing a creature on a horse that looks like that. When this thing came back into the room, I started to now analyze it. I started to look at its behavior, how it could smell. As it was looking towards me, I noticed it had a sense of like it was focused on his target. I felt this immense feeling in the beginning as soon as I saw it, that I felt that it was famine. As soon as I saw it, as soon as I saw this creature's image of the skinniness, the skeleton corpse of a feature, I knew that it was famine. That this thing, whatever it was called, I knew famine was involved. I knew death was involved with it. I knew famine, this creature represented. And what came after this famine was death. And he or this creature looked exactly like that. It looked like a famine, someone in serious starvation, someone that looked dead, walking about like riding a horse. As I stood there in my protected bubble of the Father, because this creature, even though it was near me, it just looked like it was searching for something. Like those of you that have had dogs, when you see a dog that somehow it senses a smell and is searching for the smell of where it's coming from, it could smell it and is searching for the smell. Where is the target? Where is that smell coming from? It looked like that. It acted that way. This thing left, and when it left, I woke up. When I woke up, I exactly understood that this thing represented famine and death, severe famine and death, and that it was walking, it was on its road, it was on its targets, it was moving. It was moving. I went back to sleep. When I went back to sleep, I appeared in another dream where I am at work. But when I'm there at work, to just give you an image of where I appeared at my job, I was in front of a computer, and there was a desk in front of me, and I had someone in front of the desk. And I was logging into the computer, I'm realizing that I'm having difficulties logging in the work information. For some reason, every single thing that I am doing that typically should be the correct stuff, the system is acting up. I'm taken back by that, and I'm like, I don't understand what's going on with the computer. I know that I'm putting the right information, but for whatever reason, the computer is acting up. It's not acting like there needs to be troubleshooting, the regular routine. Something I could sense something was wrong. As I continue to fix it, I try to say, well, let me use my phone instead of the computer. Maybe somehow I can at least see if I can log in through the system, through my phone. This is where it started to get strange. I start to notice that the phone, it starts to go backwards in time. Everything starts to go backwards in time. Like if every technology or something started to be corrupted, like something happened in the world that affected the system, affected everything, where you couldn't log in, you couldn't process your information. Like, think of it like we went back to the Stone Age. Just like that, it felt like I was back into the Stone Age. I remember the walls around the business changing in front of me, like flipping over to an era of like the 1970s, which to me it looked like the 1970s because of the colors. It was all browns and the color yellows and orange, vintage colors. And I remember that the floor that used to be floors was all carpets. And I just remember that as all these things started to change in front of my eyes, how the walls just flipped over to a whole different era, the environment changed to a different era in time. My phone, all the images, as all of these, like it looked like vintage pictures. No longer did I see anything that was modern in our time. It was all vintage. In my spirit, within that moment, in that dream, I felt like something happened in the world, all around, everywhere. Something had happened instantly. I knew that all the businesses, things like that, something had happened where business could no longer proceed as usual. I knew that businesses, just like the one I was in, many like it, that was the end of them. They had to shut down. I remember when I was still in that place. I saw these people that appeared when this building switched over to this era of to me, I consider it like the Stone Age. And this group of people appeared in a business suit, and they started laughing at me and pointing their fingers and laughing. I understood that they knew exactly what just happened. And as I stood there watching them, laughing at me, I said to them, I kept saying, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on here? I felt like I was in someone else's place, that this no longer was a place of work here, that this was already someone else's territory. And as these people just laughed, didn't even say anything to me, like if it was not worth their time, I remember stepping out of that building, and now I'm seeing the world how it is, and everything looks upside down. I could see people clueless in the sense of that even though everything changed, many people rolled with it. Many people just went with the changes. They just went with the changes and never put so much input of the reason why or why this. They just were like a blind sheep walking into the slaughterhouse, like just blinded and clueless, and just like, oh well, this happened, I'm sure they're gonna, everything. Like, it was very weird, because as I was there and I understood what was happening, I knew that something happened around the world. Something just went down that caused computers, caused things to change. It seemed like there was a new operation now. There was a whole new network, a whole new system. And it seemed like now these people that were laughing knew exactly what was going on. In businesses like the one I was, and many like it, small businesses, Fanny operating businesses, and who knows, but just like in general, it felt like an environment of like businesses and things like that would just not be operational. It would be like shut down, and other things will be taken over. It felt like a whole different change is going to be taking place, and everything as we know it is no longer. I remember that further down into the dream, I appeared at my mom's house. She looked younger because it was trying to clarify to me that everything went backwards. Like computer-wise, technology-wise, everything was like we were back in the Stone Age, in the sense of having to, the things that we needed to now do. It was a sense of, even though to me it was shown technology, business being shut down, things no longer being operational. And so business not being able to accept credit cards as usual, not being able to accept credit cards as usual because the system was down. There was something else that took over, that was in place of that. In this dream, it didn't emphasize what that was, but it was emphasized that there was a change that has happened. A whole different thing just happened. And it all happened within literally a split second. Boom, everything changed. I remember that in the dream, people that I knew, thinks it's like they didn't exist. I did not know what happened to them. I just knew that in that particular dream, people that I knew and I was looking for, when I mentioned to my mother, where's so and so and where's that person, she would say, what are you talking about? Like, they don't exist. To me, I felt like it has begun. It has begun. That's how I felt like in the dream. It has begun. Everything that we have been preparing, everything that, being ready, being prepared for anything. Being prepared for anything. I in my mind, in my dream, I just felt like it has started. It has begun. The feeling of things of being now in the Stone Age, in the sense of, making sure that we have enough food storage, or, walking in great faith. Walking in this great faith. Everything that we got so comfortable with, it was taken away within a split moment. Everything. Comfort. All the things that you would consider as comfort. No longer. I woke up from the dream, and I remember that in that moment, as I was hearing her say, they kind of don't exist in her own way. Like she was saying, what are you talking about? I just remember tearing up and crying, because I couldn't believe, how can I be the only one seeing these things unfolding right in front of my eyes? And many, many, many are clueless in regards to this. Many, many are clueless in regards to what is happening around the world. Walking blindly as though nothing was happening. Sleeping. The church sleeping when they must be awake, especially now. That dream was very different, because it was emphasized on the business and how many business will be shut down. Shut down because whatever is coming, whatever is going to take place, is going to affect small businesses, is going to affect a lot of the small businesses and things like that. And only those in particular that these people in these suits wanted to keep, those were the only ones that pretty much were standing. They were going to dominate this whole new era, this whole new thing. After I woke up from that dream, I want to also share another dream, a few more dreams that I had regards to famine. How serious is this? Famine of the word, famine of physicalness. I mean, when I'm talking about famine, guys, this is major. This is famine with not just physical famine, but also spiritual famine. In this other dream, it was very quick. I appeared bending down in the store, one of the shelves. I was staring at the two bottom shelves of a store, where they would normally put all the food and the items that you are going to purchase. So I appeared in that moment, boom, right there, bending down to look at some items that were on the shelves. But when I'm looking at it, all the shelves were empty. And the only thing that I saw at the bottom of the last shelves were these bags of beans. But when I looked at the quality of the bags of beans that were inside, they looked like they were starved. They were dehydrated, like they looked wrinkled up. They were the worst shaped beans that were harvested that I have never seen before. When I saw this, I said to myself, wow, the people that harvest these beans took whatever they could get and just put it in the bag. Typically, this would have never passed the inspection to even go to the next stage of a purchase. But yet things are so bad that this is considered good quality right now. When I saw that, I grabbed whatever was there, because there was nothing else. And I woke up from that dream, but I understood that it was famine, and the shelves were empty. Things were tough. Times were tough. The other dream that I'm going to share with you. I appeared in a body of water, and there was a line on my right hand of so many little kids. It's like if I could see through an eye of a child. Even though I was in the water, they were all children. So even though I was there, I felt like I was in that same group. Like I was seeing through the eyes of a child. And when I was there, I knew that I was starving. I knew that I was hungry. I knew that everyone else that was on my right side was hungry too. I remember that we were all going through some sort of starvation. All these children that were there, but they were all starving. I remember that there was a boat, and the people on the boat were playing these games of, if you do this or if you do that, we will give you a meal. We will give you food. And I remember that these kids were getting food depending on what they could do for these people. I remember that the kid next to me said to me, I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten yesterday because yesterday I didn't do good. I hope I can do it this time so I can eat. And I remember the child just being so hard on himself because whatever he didn't do the day before, he didn't get to eat because he didn't accomplish it. I knew that there was a lot of famine, a lot of starvation going around the world. And some people in these boats were, whatever they were doing, it never showed what is it that they wanted them to do. It never showed what was that thing. All that was focused in the dream was the fact that these kids were starving, and for whatever reason, they needed to do something in order to get food, in order to eat. And if they didn't accomplish that, they would not get the meal. It was a harsh environment. And for whatever reason, I do not know, but these kids were just in the water, in this body of water. But I could only see this group of kids in this body of water. I woke up from that dream. Another dream regarding to famine, starvation, tough times, struggling to acquire food, even if it's just a small meal for one day. We must prepare, we must be ready, repenting from our sins, and guys, being ready with the Father being ready every moment of our life, just being ready. Being ready. It's like I said to someone who I was talking to, prepare your home. Have things ready. Have enough storage if you're able to. Have enough storage of food, especially when you have children. Have candles. Slowly start chipping away at it. Slowly start building your food pantry, your candles. Slowly, adding to it. Slowly adding to it. And that even if it's not for you, and the Father comes today to get us, but those that have been left behind, they will be able to use it. That even if it's not for you, it's for those that will be in need of it. So many moments in the Word that we see that the Father multiplies the food. And so we have to remember that our Father is great. We have to know that we must believe, we must have great faith. And know that our Father understands our situation, understands where we are in our lives, understands every little thing about our life. And so we must trust in Him. That we should not be so, we should not be halfway, but to at least walk in that great faith and put in the effort and not say, I can't because I have this, or I can't because I have that. But the fact that we at least trying, and we at least, pushing forward with it, that's all about walking in great faith. It's not walking in fear. It's fearing the Father and walking in this great faith, knowing that we must be ready spiritually, knowing that we must be ready physically, that if anything happened, we have our home prepared, especially when we have kids, we have family, and also those that the Father will bring to our home, that we will not be aware of, that people will just show up, that we have things in hand that can help those. And so, again, guys, be always ready. Be always ready. And also remember that if you find yourself in situations saying, I can't do that, I can't do it, all I'm saying is little bits, but little bits, little bits. Some of us are able to boom in one chunk. They can. That's amazing. That's great. And some of us can't. Some of us have to pitch little bits at a time. But that's why the Father gives us these warnings ahead of time. So we can all prepare, small and great. Prepare in what we can. But walking in that great faith, remember that even the smallest amount can be multiplied in big. Smallest amount can be multiplied in big. Be ready, my friends. Be ready. Things are going to get rough. I tell you this. Prepare your homes. Prepare yourselves. Hold on tight to the Father. No matter what happens, hold on tight. Hold on tight. And just like I said to so many of my closest people around me, even if it's not for you, it will be for those that will be in need of it. But you prepare yourself. You be ready at all times with the Father. You be ready. Walking in the great faith. Walking in this great faith of victory. Be ready. It's an adventure. And He is walking with us, within each of His children. His Spirit is in us. And who can be against us? Who? The one that's within us is greater than the one that's in the world. If you believe that, then you shall not worry about what tomorrow may bring. Trust in the Father. Trust in all His ways. He will direct your path, and He will make your path straight. Believe in Him and be ready. Have your heart ready. Have your home ready. Cleanse yourself continuously from this world. Prepare yourself like if today was your last day. Be always ready, waiting for His return. And do not hold on to nothing in regards to this world, but have all your treasures in heaven. Keep your eyes on Yahusha HaMashiach. Keep your eyes on Him and never on this world. We are only passing through. We are not from this world. We are a light to this world. We are a light. So as darkness continue to increase spiritually, guys, and eventually will become physically, be ready. Be ready. Be ready. Repent. Turn away from all your sins. Walk right with the Father at all times. Walk right. He loves us so much. He loves us so much, guys, that He sends these warnings continuously, repeatedly to His children to prepare, to prepare, to prepare, to be ready, to be ready, for his return is soon coming. For his return is soon coming. Be ready, be ready. He is coming. He is coming. He is coming. Be ready. Have your heart ready at all times. Cleanse yourself from all dirty garments. Cleanse your garment. Don't walk in sin. Keep yourself away from all the filth of this world. Keep yourself away from it. Allow Yahusha HaMashiach, allow him to cleanse you. Allow him to cleanse you from all this. Prepare. This message is a warning again regarding famine. Famine upon the land. Prepare, you guys. Even though we are literally brings of moments of change that could happen at any moment, guys, continue to prepare bits by bits as much as you can. For the small and the great, get your house in order spiritually and physically. Be ready at all times. Be ready at all times. Be ready. Our Messiah is coming, guys, and I am excited for that. He is coming. He is coming. Be ready. Be ready. While this world continues to get darker and darker, remember that we are the light of this world, guys. We are the light of this world, and let your light shine. Walk in great faith and walk with your head up high and know who you are. Know who you are. May Elohim bless you.